What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad.
Not Miguel.
Happy 2024. We are so excited to finally start getting some new content at you. And we had a little bit of a golden nugget drop the other day. I was getting gas on my way home from work, and I glanced down at my phone, and little did I know, the official
Lo and
trailer
behold.
for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, officially dropped. We just did a show a couple days ago talking about our most anticipated projects, movie and TV projects of 2024, and this is at the top of my list. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan. Been super stoked ever since it was announced to see Rick Grimes finally back on the screen. And it's one of my most anticipated projects of the year. And everything we've heard about it is that it's spectacular. Denai
It's
Guerrero's Michonne.
$1.8 million an episode.
Try like $15 million an episode.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
The budget of this show, Miguel and I were talking about this the other day. The budget of The Ones Who Live was like $83 million. Like AMC must have just been like throwing money at this crew to do stuff with. The budget for each individual episode was it had to have been close to $15 million an episode, and I think there's only 6 or 8 episodes. Like,
And this is a TV show too, if anything.
mind blowing. Yeah, it's pretty
Like
crazy.
I don't know where they're pulling the money, where they're expecting to do the analytics for how they're making money out of this show.
Yeah,
but it's gotta be like bonkers.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Now I have seen where a lot of people in comments. I haven't watched the whole trailer yet. I've seen clips that they've posted on their social media and things like that, but I haven't watched it straight through yet. And you haven't seen any of it, right, Miguel?
I saw like a snippet, just like a picture of like how they're saying like, oh, now we get why each episode costs like $15 million.
Yeah,
Because of
yeah,
like apparently the scale of every single scene that was involved. So
right. Well, and I'm thinking this is almost going to be more like a movie type feel rather than like a TV series type feel.
yeah.
I thought Dead City was kind of like that. I think Daryl Dixon was kind of like that. So I assume the same from this as well.
It's definitely seems to be going on a much grander scale than your typical
Grandiose.
Than your typical, like stay in a house and every zombie every now and then kind of thing. Like we knew it was going through this direction. I think whenever like the horde situation occurred in The Walking Dead, I think at that point I knew it was like, okay, like this is like they're getting more grander in their what's it called, their budget.
So. Right, and then their approach. I think when they, for so long, like I think part of the reason I'm excited about this, and I think part of the reason that Walking Dead fans are excited about this show is not only because it does feature the return of Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes, but there are so many questions that we've desperately needed answered about the CRM and the whole helicopter thing. And there's just we've gotten bits and pieces of this greater story. Like, the story of The Walking Dead. I'm in the middle of a rewatch right now. My wife has never seen the series. This is my second or third time watching it straight through. But the story felt so big, and it felt so like big wrapped around this core group of characters.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's almost like it's made you step back and be like, okay, there is a lot more going on in the world than just this core group of characters trying to survive in Virginia and Georgia. And you know what I mean? Like it's I think this is a much
there's a lot more
world
happening under the other than just what's under the Bible Belt. Right. So, and I'm excited because from the pictures that I've seen and just
that sounded juicy, by the way.
Yeah, I hope you liked it. I didn't mean it to be like all the way up in the mic, but just from what I can see in regards to little snippets and pics and here and there, you can definitely tell that like The Walking Dead is, or it already has gone to a much bigger world than your typical southern side of the states. Like we're in fucking Europe now. We're in
Yeah,
fucking New
yeah.
York City. Like we are,
We're in California. We're
yeah,
like
California.
seeing
Like we're seeing the whole world.
right.
We're seeing the Walking Dead world come together so we can get an idea as to what happened
Yeah.
throughout the country and even throughout the world. So this is really cool to see, and I hope that with this trailer we could see more of how the world is now reacting to the
Mhm.
zombies after after it's all said and done and society, already, collapsed, done,
Yeah.
and currently trying to,
Rebuild itself. Like
rebuild itself.
it's
Yeah.
morphing into something like this. I think that's what's cool, and we've
Like
talked
it's
about
no
this
longer,
before.
yeah, I was gonna say it's no longer like 10, 15 people group just trying to like
Right.
get together or like survive together. It's now
Yeah.
like communities and
Right.
militias and towns and
Hmm.
safeguards. Like it's more about like one community against one community tackling the zombie
Yeah.
outbreak kind of thing, or not even like an outbreak anymore. Just this new species that is taken over the world now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
no longer like a how to survive the zombie apocalypse. It's more like how do we function knowing that we have
Yeah. Yeah.
zombies, and it's now a different species because we have different variants of
Right.
zombies. So it's really cool to see this evolution that The Walking Dead is going through. So that's
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Well,
excited for this.
and to piggyback off of what you just said, we've talked about this before, right? Like I think part of the, at least for me, as a zombie fan, part of the draw to the zombie genre for me is this idea of like, yes, it's scary and zombies are scary and zombies are cool and like I get it, I like it, I do, but part of what I like about the genre from a storytelling perspective is
Mhm.
you get to see both as the outbreak is happening, after it's happened, like you get to explore the ramifications of this massive biological viral outbreak. And we've gotten to see that in a few different capacities. We at the beginning of the series we got to see the before. We got to see Shane trying to one of my favorite scenes in the series is when Shane goes back in the hospital to try to save Rick, and he's still in the coma, and the military just starts shooting everybody in the hospital because they can't contain the virus anymore.
Mhm.
And like there's zombies breaking through the door, and like Shane walks back in and he looks at Rick and he has that moment of like he knows there is no way he can get Rick out of that hospital. So
Mhm.
he barricades the door, like seeing the stuff in Europe, seeing the ramifications and how the world is trying to the world is simultaneously decaying. It's like what once was is slowly dying, and this new world, as Rick so eloquently says in the show about 15,000 times, the new world.
Mhm.
As he says, the new world is kind of being born out of the apocalypse. It's
Yeah.
really interesting, and I'm interested to see what the ones who live does with it as well. So,
And I'm
without
curious
further
to
ado,
see so many more. I hope we
yeah,
get so many more Rick monologues because The Walking Dead just isn't the same
yeah,
without the Rick
it's not.
monologues.
You need the Rick Smolder, you need the southern accent, you need the
Yeah.
boots, and you
Yeah.
need the monologues, man. You need the
Absolutely.
whole long drawn out Rick monologues. It's just the show's not the same without it.
Just the way it is. Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch this. Without further ado, let's check out the official trailer for The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live. By the way, before we even get to this, that's a long title.
It is a
But
long
you know
title.
what's an even longer title? The Walking Dead: Daryl Dixon: The Book of Carol. Like, bro, they just need to do it. Like, they just need to make that a separate show and call it The Book of Carol. Like, that's it, done. Like, it's like when
True.
you have two
Where do they get that?
hyphens
Or where
in
do
the
they get
name.
that title from? Fucking Disney.
I don't know. They called somebody from Pixar and they had to make the title. Yeah, it's a great show. I don't. When I found out that was the title, I was like, really? Like, just call it Daryl Dixon season 2 and have Carol be like part of the show. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I don't know. It's strange. But anyway, here's the trailer. I am ready for this deep in my loins and my thighs and my feet, and I'm prepared. I'm ready. Here we go. The Walking Dead, the ones who live in Coral.
I'm looking for him. I'm gonna head north.
Forgetting Michonne is actually he's actively chasing after Rick.
Yeah. The cruise ship? That's pretty sick. See, that's huge. Like,
yeah, can you see the $15 million budget now?
My wife is my choice. My daughter is my choice. My life is my choice. It's been so long.
Bro looks like he has seen some shit.
Your phone, you know what it says? The Japanese? Believe a little bit longer.
I like that.
Why?
You showed me I can't get away.
Bro, we have a bottle of whiskey.
Powerful military on the planet.
So we gotta,
Ask you a question, Grimes. Look in your
Is
eyes.
it CRM?
Why are you here? Do you want to kill? Or do you want to die? Look in my eyes, sir. You tell me.
Woo. That's my boy.
Yeah.
Dude. It looks like
it's huge.
Grandiose, you know?
Yeah.
Jadis!
Yeah, Jadis is back.
Dude, holy crap!
Yeah. Hey, who's that?
Bravo. I think that was Rick.
Oh.
We can make this whole damn world ours if we want to.
Someone tells me Michonne's gonna die.
I like it.
Oh,
You
no.
think?
I think, maybe.
Oh, I hope not.
Good chance she might.
I hope not, man. Wow, that looks really good. It, man, the scope. My first thought,
Yeah,
is
the scope alone
of it is absolutely like astronomical compared to other things we've seen.
Yeah,
It
100%.
feels huge,
Mhm.
huge. It feels massive. It's the biggest, the grandest. It's the best, and I know the best. I've seen huge. Like, it's amazing.
Go huge.
I think we're legitimately going to get some questions answered about the CRM and about that whole deal, who they are. Like, I know we kind of got that in World Beyond, but I still feel like they were kind of dangling the carrot of the bigger picture of like what the CRM is. I mean, essentially, I equate the CRM to what Fedra is in The Last of Us, where they have the quarantine zones. Like, I assume this is like where Rick is like a quarantine zone type deal, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I assume it's
I
that
agree.
kind of thing.
Like, and that's something that I think The Walking Dead was kind of missing, I suppose. Like, I think in the earlier days we were just expecting, just pure wasteland, like outer rinks, like they almost went to like almost borderline prehistoric times,
Right.
For it. But it just surprises me that a society this massive isn't like hanging around, or maybe the Walking Dead crew has just been able to just stay clear around it. You know what I mean? So I guarantee that this has like been around for a while.
Yeah. It looks really big. I'm very excited to see like Michonne finding out about this. Like, I wonder how much Michonne knows about the CRM and about I wonder how in the know she is about where he is. And my big question about the whole thing, and we know the A-B thing, like when Jadis finally called the helicopter when Rick was laying there dying and she said, I have a B, or whatever she said, I don't know. I wonder what all of that means, because there was speculation a long time ago that like A's were used as workers, B's were used for like experiments to try to cure the virus or something like that. Like, but like, why keep them there? Like, why keep him there like a a soldier / slave / worker. Like
Mhm.
that's what I don't get. And
Well,
that's
he's
what I find
obviously a
really
worker
interesting.
in this show. What we can see, I think he's someone that just handles the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he just seems like a grunt worker.
Like when he was
that
killing
just-
the walkers on the wall with the
Yeah,
pipe or
exactly.
whatever.
Like that seems to be like his task that he does consistently. And you notice one thing, how I was eagle-eyeing the whole bitch, but you notice how like you never really saw like Rick's like left hand.
I know.
Yeah,
I
like
know.
I didn't see it for a second.
I
My
kinda feel like
man
it's
lost
coming.
that. My man
Yeah.
left that in Alexandria, I think.
Well, I think he has it. I think he will start the series with it. I don't know that he will end the series.
I
with it.
don't know.
You know what I mean?
It's hard. You know, like I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the survival instinct, but I mean, it take me a while to get over losing my left hand. You know what I
It
mean?
would.
Like
Well-
this thing right here, I love it so much. So for it to be gone from existence, I can't imagine just like taking one episode of losing the hand and then just going back to work. You know?
That makes me so uncomfortable. I love this thing so much. It's great.
Well, you don't know what you have until it's gone. You know what I
know,
mean?
right?
So
Oh,
like,
man.
it would weird me out a little bit if like
Well,
for some reason Rick just loses a hand one episode and the next episode he's just fucking
he's kicking ass.
he's
doing,
just over
like,
here
Rick
kicking
Grimes,
ass
you know what I
again.
mean?
And I'm like, okay.
I wonder if that will be because in the comic books it's the governor. The governor
Yeah.
takes off his hand. The
Yeah,
governor.
we're
the governor
weird.
takes off his
Weird.
hand. Light years
Books
away from the
away,
governor. yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're an entire history book away from the governor at this point. Like
Mhm.
that was old news. But
Shit, I think I was still in high school during that time. Fucking hell.
we were like early high school when that was happening.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But I wonder if because we see at the end of The Walking Dead, he's obviously escaped.
Mhm.
Like, and they see him. They say like,
I think he tried to escape and they caught him.
right, and you get the
Yeah.
vibe that he's tried to escape a couple of times. When the chick that's chugging the entire fifth of vodka, I mean, wow,
Wow.
it must be pretty bad if you're sitting there drinking vodka straight from the bottle. Like,
Bro, I
that's
don't know
pretty-
how whiskey
wow.
is like still around like that. Well, I don't know. If it's a community, if the community is still around, I could see why whiskey would still be around. I mean, it's not
Bro,
hard to make.
you've lived like 15 years into the zombie apocalypse. Like, wouldn't you be chugging a fifth of whiskey too? Like, or some kind of like hard liquor. You know what I mean?
That's what gets me. It's like what could disappear if in 15 years society collapsed? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what's one thing you think would disappear if the apocalypse happened only 15 years later? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
alcohol. I'm not surprised, but that it's still around. But like whiskey, yeah. I don't know.
I
I'm a
mean,
little surprised.
think about it though. I mean, if the apocalypse happened, everybody's going after survival supplies, water, food, canned food, weapons, things like that. Nobody's running over and grabbing the Jack Daniels off the wall and be like, "I gotta have this." Like, you know what I mean? That's like, I wouldn't say that's a survival item. So like, of course, there's gonna be a lot of it left behind. You know, unless you're making
15
Molotov
years
cocktails with it, that's pretty dope.
15 years worth of it, dog. Though
We're pretty far.
it's like
in.
it's
I
like
think- I don't know if it's exactly 15, but I think it's around 15. I mean,
it's like
it's been like 6 years since Rick disappeared from Alexandria when he blew the bridge,
Mhm.
like it in season 9.
yeah.
It's been like, and at that point we were already like a decade after the apocalypse. So like,
Yeah.
I would say it's probably going on 14, 15, 16 years
Yeah.
since Rick got shot right before the apocalypse happened.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's like why am I seeing like 3 helicopters blow up a fucking building? Like that's a lot of gas to use
Yeah.
up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's what. So I'm curious to see how the CRM is able to function in such a way for 15 years and
Yeah.
still be as efficient and still have all the necessary things
well,
and
and-
stuff for all of their equipment. So like that, like I'm
Right.
curious to see how they were able to survive through all that.
we do know that I think part of it is that like I again I'm making a Last of Us comparison with Fedra.
ain't stopping our fracking our nation, guys.
Like I think about Fedra in The Last of Us, and it's like, yes, Fedra, people are safe behind the walls in the quarantine zone, but Fedra is just kind of falling into the same issues that society had before. Like they didn't make anything better. Like, and I know it's the apocalypse, but like they're kind of crooked in a way. And the CRM is the same way. You know, we know that in World Beyond, there's the scene where Jadis is talking to the protagonist in that show, and they killed an entire community of like, it was like close to 100,000 people, I believe, that were in this enclosed community that that were mooching off of the CRM for their food and their weapons and whatever. And the CRM literally, like, mass genocide, wiped out an entire massive community of survivors just because they were like taking too much of the CRM's resources. Like, I think we're going to get an idea of the scope of how big the CRM is. I mean, the Commonwealth is huge, and it looks like the CRM is far bigger than the Commonwealth is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's kind of crazy, you know.
And like the Commonwealth had fucking stormtroopers. Like, I'm scared to think what the CRM have, man. Like, what the fuck's going to happen?
And it makes you think, like, if they ever really did continue this, because, I mean, they've alluded to the idea of, like, The Walking Dead building to a climax, like, of all of these shows, you know? Because in my eyes, you have to reunite all the characters. Like, you have to. Like, I don't see a way that you, like, I don't know if there's a way that I will be emotionally satisfied with the end of this franchise unless Rick and Daryl and Carol and Maggie and Negan and like the OGs reunite. Like, I don't know if I will be.
And it's pretty easy because there ain't much.
I know, right? Yeah, they've all pretty much all of them have died.
Yeah.
Like, I need to see Rick reunite with Judith. Like, Judith, whatever, Judith. I need to see that. You know, I need to see Rick and Daryl reunite. Which Daryl is. At least Derek, I don't know what I'm saying. At least Rick is in the States, bro. Daryl is gone.
Again,
my
the fact
man
that
is
they can have
gone.
The fact that they can have Apache helicopters flying around, they could fly a plane.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you could fly across the world still in the apocalypse. That's what that is telling me right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So,
like, the worlds are still connected more than just a boat ride away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. And
so that's what's interesting.
I'm really stoked for this show. I mean, I'm serious when I say that it is one of my absolute most anticipated things of the year. I'm super stoked to watch it, and I'm super stoked to dive back into, which I have already been kind of on a Walking Dead kick, just because we're rewatching the original show, and I'm like, I'm trying to get into the other stuff again. It's one of my favorite on-screen worlds. You know, I think it's had its faults, just like any show. It's had its ups and downs. I mean, it has. And I know a lot of people think that the spin-off thing is like a little much. And it is. It's a lot. Like, I'll be the first to admit, it's a lot. The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, Daryl Dixon, Dead City, The Ones Who Live, Tales of the Walking Dead. I mean, that's 7 right there. Like there is a lot. But I think they've done a really, really good job of building up a universe and building up a world, and I'm stoked to see what they do with The Ones Who Live in Rick's Return. So,
as of my opinion,
I think it's gonna be really cool.
It's gonna be a huge mess in my pants.
Yeah, me same, man. I'm diarrhea, pee, tears, everything. It's gonna be amazing. So, please, in the comments below, let us know your thoughts on the official trailer for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, with its insanely big budget for a TV show. Man, like, they must have looked at all the AMC executives and been like, can we borrow some cash? we got to get Andrew Lincoln back, man. Can we borrow some cash?
Yeah.
But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. You could follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at LTN Podcast KY. We have got 3 new shows that we do on the channel: Let's Talk Movies Podcast, Classics Revisited, and Purely and Simply Evil. We do new episodes of those all the time. We love you guys. Have an awesome rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Peace.